This is Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars with Stephen Fennick and Trevor Long. Thanks to NRMA Insurance and Uniden.
We appreciate their support. NRMA Insurance, a help company helping Australians protect what matters most. For almost 100 years, they are, NRMA Insurance, one of the largest insurers of electric vehicles in Australia. So they're not mucking around, folks.
Yeah.
And of course, Uniden Smart Dash Cams, we appreciate their support. They're there for you if you need a second pair of eyes, maybe a third and fourth, because you could have a camera that has an internal view, a rear view, and a forward view. They've got everything covered for Uniden dash cams. They're a great range at every price point, every budget, for every car, EV or otherwise. Stephen Fennick, g'day.
G'day there, Trev. How are we doing?
We are very well. If you want to be on the show, get in touch, 0477 657 657.
You could be talking to us.
Wow, you could be
live.
talking to Stephen Fennick. This is unbelievable. I mean,
And
this
Trevor
is
Long.
Groundbreaking
Trevor
stuff.
Long from the Today Show.
And Stephen Fennick from techguide.com.au, folks. 0477 657 657. Just send us a text or a WhatsApp. We'll get you on the show. Love to talk to you and love to talk about anything going on in your world, because one of the things that we often get is that I'm getting a new car, what should I do, and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And while we have covered a lot of it, and probably all of it, it slightly changes now and then. There's evolutions to it. Plus, some people are discovering the show now, and maybe, I don't know why, you're not going back and listening to the other 50-odd episodes.
Yeah.
So
You got a whole year's worth of stuff to
there's
listen to.
always something to cover. This week we're going to talk quickly about depreciation, because we're finance experts. But we are both owners, and here's the reason I think this is a fascinating topic. Because a lot of people, novated leases, I'm just on finance, whatever, you do commit to some form of balloon payment or something, and there is a risk to that with any new car.
Yeah.
But with
EV
your,
or otherwise,
with your conventional internal combustion car, at a lot of dealerships, they'll say, listen, here's the number, we'll actually guarantee this. Or they'll give you a balloon calculation based on what they know to be the standard depreciation. But it is, and I think it is a genuine concern, let alone a consideration, that you should think about whether or not the depreciation will be higher or lower with your EV. And here's my first thought. So I was talking to David McGowan from News Limited's motoring team end of last year about their car of the year. And he was the BYD Shark 6, the Ute. And he said that, you know, someone texted in and said, you know, the value of it, we don't know the depreciation. He said, look, they're selling so many of them that we can have great confidence. So I look at it and go, actually, maybe the Kia EV9 is a bad investment in that sense, because they're not selling enough of them that it doesn't really have a great after sale as well. So I might take a hit on the EV9, but on the Cupra, it's, you know, they're selling okay. It's got a bit of pizzazz to it. It's also a cheaper car. But the fact is, I don't know. I really don't know what it's going to be.
That's the thing, I reckon. When you compare ICE to an EV, which would depreciate faster? I think it depends on a lot of factors. Whether it's the brand, is it the battery health? Is it the technological changes, the tech changes? Is it the political decisions that sort of get rid of incentives, introduce incentives? That's a good one.
You know, a lot of people. I don't think there's an incentive anymore in New South Wales. I got one for my Cupra. The government bonuses, 3,000, whatever it might be, I don't think they exist in half the states they used to.
We have heard from a lot of callers for saying that was a factor. They got, you know, the lease suited them.
Imagine the federal government got rid of the novated lease benefit.
Yeah. So that would affect it. But I think if you're in the market if you're buying a secondhand EV, I think probably the main consideration would be battery health and what happens. What happens down the track if, say, second person, third person buys this car? Whereas you got a traditional type of car, is that going to depreciate because there's more EVs on the road? Is that a factor?
I would say that the battery consideration on an EV is in the same realm as kilometres on a petrol car, mileage. You know, Holden Commodore, let's say it was the last two off the production line, ignoring the fact there might be some special value to them. And one of them has done 10,000. No, let's say one of them's done 30, 40,000 Ks. The other one's done 300,000 Ks. There's going to be a different value. And I think that if you look at the battery health of two cars, two Teslas where we can visibly see battery health, or other cars hopefully have that diagnostic tool built in it over time, if the battery health is greater, then the depreciation, I think, will be worse.
Because is that something like
if the battery's not as good, that is.
When you bought your car, were you thinking about that? Because I remember
I absolutely should have been. I'm an idiot.
When I got my Mercedes, my EV, I got it on a lease, and there's a guaranteed value at the end of the lease.
That's what I was referring to.
So I like the guy at Mercedes was quite frank about it. He goes, "Look, we don't know what EVs are going to do in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. So locking in the guaranteed future value is a little bit like a safety net. You don't know. Like I'm confident my car's still going to be worth a decent amount of money when it's time to trade it in. So there's that. If you that was sort of a that was almost a selling point for that kind of lease.
Look, that's a very luxury European car approach. Kia's
and they do the same with petrol cars, by the way.
Kia's not going to give you a guaranteed value on an EV5, let alone an EV9. That's just not the way that company works. But you're right. Yeah. If you're buying at that end of the market, I think you should be looking for that guaranteed value. So look, I think the bottom line of this conversation is it is a risk. I believe it's important to know that you're coming into this with a little bit of risk. Tesla, there's some trends, but also you got to remember that things like Teslas, they change their pricing on new cars like at a heartbeat. And that could affect your second-hand price the day you're trying to trade it in.
I think the brand is a factor too. The brand, like I know certain brands of like prestige luxury cars hold their value, like BMWs, Mercedes, and others. Tesla, depending on the car, depending on the kilometres, can vary. Like I knew when I sold my car, I was sort of in the ballpark of others that were similar mileage to mine. So I think beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Are they willing to the car's in good condition? That's a factor if for your resale value, the battery health, of course, but. These are factors to consider. I reckon the condition of the car, to me anyway, is the thing that's going to keep the value high.
Yeah.
If you've looked after it, and you can, if you're a buying a secondhand car, that's the first thing you're going to see if this is the person's looked after the car.
Yeah.
So that's going to help with your valuation.
Yeah. Look, it's a great thing to be thinking about. I think you should talk to your dealer about any experience they have in that space, any previous trades they've had on even recent models. It's all good to know. It all helps you because what you want to do is know how does it compare to a traditional petrol or diesel vehicle? Is it a greater level of depreciation? Therefore, should I be factoring that in for my financing? Because really it's financing where you're going to get burnt.
Yeah. But also, too, if you're leasing the car, see if that's an option. If you can get, like, from the dealer, you get like, the guaranteed value or ballpark value of the balloon payment or at the end of your 3, 4, 5 year lease, whatever you choose, that could help you make the decision.
Great advice from Stephen Fennick. Come to him for all your financial plans. No, not financial advice. We're saying ask around.
What's the disclaimer? Just take this as not, I don't know how they say it, but
basically, we're idiots. Don't trust what we say in terms of your money.
A lot smarter than us.
It's your money, folks. Take it easy out there on the roads. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got experience with the value of trades, the value of secondhand electric cars, we've spoken to Ross and the team from Amazing EVs. They're selling them, but I think it's going to be a while before they have some genuine stats on what things are selling
this
for.
Year we'll have some. We'll get some more information.
But we'd love to hear from you. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. 0477 657 657. Stephen.
We would not get jobs as dancers.
You'd be in the Pointer Brothers because you point a lot. You do this.
I don't know what that reveals about my personality, but anyway, that's good. Something. It's
something.
You think
it does?
I don't know.
0477 657 657. If you're a personality expert and you'd like to unpack Stephen's personality for us all here on the show, we'd appreciate it. But we'd love to also hear from you wherever you're at in your EV journey. And we have a caller on the line. Peter's on the line. G'day, Peter.
G'day, fellas.
Mate, where are you at in your EV journey? I think this is an exciting one.
It's a big day, Peter.
I'm on my way to actually pick up the car. So,
wow.
A very
Which car,
appropriate
mate?
time.
Tell us the car. Tell us about it.
BD Seal.
BYD Seal.
BYD Sale.
Yeah.
I should say I'm too excited.
How are you getting there?
Are you in an Uber right now or what?
I'm in an Uber right now.
Oh, this is the best.
Tell the driver that you're just talking to a couple of nuffies here. We'll just to have patience with us. But, mate, how excited are you, mate? Seriously. Like, is this your first EV, of course, is it?
It is my first EV, yes. I'm very excited.
Yeah. What were you driving before that,
Yeah,
Peter?
can't wait. A Lexus IS 350 F Sport.
Okay, so you're
so
coming off
nice
a nice car. Yeah, righto. Righto.
So what's the journey been like? How long? When did you make the decision new cars needed, and how quickly was it decided that was going to be an EV?
EV I've been looking at for probably 2 years now,
Oh,
and BYD for the last year,
okay.
and just got too good a deal with the $3,000 off and the wall charger, and it came in at a price that was similar to the Atto 3, and I thought, well, I like the saloon better, so I'll go that.
Really nice, mate. So the deal got you over the line. The deal, the extras, that was sort of the. Was there any other close competition? Who was second?
Well, Tesla was there, but it was never going to be there in any formal fashion because he's just who he is.
Right.
See, again, another one.
Yeah, wow, because of Elon Musk.
Purely based on Elon Musk.
Really?
Correct.
Is it because of Elon Musk and him supporting Trump and sort of just him
Or
as
just
a
because he's a Fruit Loop?
Both, but more him supporting Trump.
Wow.
That's just beyond the pale.
You just got to, I mean, their stock price has been going great last year, and I'm sure it still is now, but it's fascinating. We've spoken to just a couple of people, but on a percentage basis, they have to have lost sales. And and in America, possibly more so, especially when you think about, the blue states like California and that decision making over there.
Where Tesla is so popular.
So, all right. So what did you love about the Seal when you took it for a test drive? I'm assuming. What blew you away?
The fit, the finish, the materials, the feel of the car. I've driven EVs before, and it's as good and as smooth as the BMWs that we drive.
Wow.
And so, what can I ask, mate? What colour did you get?
Silver.
I got the Atlantic grey.
Grey.
So it's a dark bluish colour.
Yeah, that was my favourite colour too. I think that's the colour I drove.
Yes.
That was what we had when we drove it. I've driven that car, and I think I texted Trevor in the car. I think when I was just picked it up, and I said, "Mate, I've been in the car 20 minutes, and I love it."
Yeah. Honestly, it's fascinating, Peter, because so many people don't know about the brand, but then they discover the brand through just a bit of research and reviews and things. And there's not too many people who get in it and are turned away from it, other than that they just can't get past the fact they want to own a Tesla. There's those people as well. So it is fascinating to me how well they've done with their brand, because the Atto 3, for example, to me now is starting to age in looks like, car design is a tough game. You really do need to be careful. I think the Atto 3... needs some sort of refresh to keep it in line with even the Seal look. Yeah. But that Seal, man, that is a gorgeous looking, futuristic looking, but still not outrageous looking. As you say, saloon, a sedan car. What's your family situation, mate? Are there other people in the household?
Yes, a wife, and she was looking at the Dolphin while I was looking at the Seal.
Wow.
So
is there a chance you'll double down, mate, then? Yeah.
A very good chance, if not now, in the future.
So, Peter, can I ask, what's your driving situation? Do you drive a lot? Will you need to charge a lot? Like, how many Ks do you do?
No, I don't do a lot of Ks, and that's why an EV was a fairly easy choice.
Yep.
So I probably do, 15,000 a year.
Okay.
So not a hell of a lot.
Yeah,
now, we will let you go because I feel like you're out of the Uber and now standing in front of the dealer.
He's waiting to get into his car,
and I want to know if you can see it, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But what's your charging plans? What's your situation with regards to charging? Do you think you're going...
got the wall charger.
No, but do you think you're going to do more than the wall charging, or is that going to absolutely be enough for you? And you've got a Sparky already booked for that?
Got a Sparky booked. The wall charger came with the deal. So we've got a 15-amp dedicated line ready to go when we built our house a couple of years ago.
Nice, yeah.
Ah, wow.
So I think it'll just be the granny charger until I work out what's what.
Yeah.
Once you get the wall charger,
Can you see the vehicle right now?
Can you see it there, Peter?
I'm across the street, so I can't actually see it.
Mate, we're very excited for you.
Yeah, wow. Special day, mate. You won't forget this day.
Pleased to have been a part of it with you, mate. Enjoy the pickup process. Enjoy the cruise home. And we look forward to touching base maybe in a month or three, and you can give us a little owner's review.
Absolutely, no problem. And thanks for the show, fellas. We all appreciate it.
Good
That's
on you, Peter.
very, very
That's
kind of
good
you,
to
mate.
hear,
Well,
mate.
enjoy, and we'll let you go,
All the
buddy.
best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good on you, mate.
Cheers, good on you. Like, normally we would wrap it on for some time, but I could hear he was out of the car.
He was anxious. He wants to get out of there.
So for reference, we obviously text people back and say, "You ready to talk now?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'm about
on
to
the
go
way
pick
to
my
pick
car."
up the car.
And
Yeah,
Stephen
wow.
was immediately, "No, ring him now. Let's talk to him." You know.
There you go.
And to his credit, Pete was happy to chat.
Yeah.
So wonderful. That's
Do you
a
remember
great
that day?
moment.
Do you remember that day? Like I remember
yeah.
when for me it was when I got the Tesla. That was back in 2018. I remember the date. I remember everything about that day, and it's a day you'll never forget.
It's funny because obviously different cars have different emotions like that. I remember picking up my first BMW in the year 2000.
Yep.
And I remember all the other cars. The Commodore, when we got that, which would have been 2010, was pretty cool because the dealership up the road here they were very accommodating. They gave the kids stuff. It felt like a real experience for the family.
But what about when you got the EV, mate? The Cooper?
Well, I was just going to go through it.
Yeah.
You know, the Carnival just felt like another car to me.
Yes.
But then picking up the Cooper up, and mainly because it was a midlife crisis car. We can admit that.
So what does that mean? Do I fall in that same class too?
It was the following. Yeah, it was the following the car all the way on the boat. I flew the drone out around the boat.
That's right.
I had
God.
the legendary Steve, who's the truckie for the car conglomerate that uses them. Took photos of it on the truck and then in the yard, and then when it was getting its paint coating.
Yeah.
So that. Like, I was desperate to pick it up that day.
I did a similar thing when I got my Teslas. My Tesla was like a little, you could call it a demonstrator because it had like 500, 600 Ks on it.
Yeah.
And the person who bought it couldn't finance it. So it had to come down from Brisbane. And the guy took photos of the car and sent it to me. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm thinking, there it is now. I can't wait. Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to someone talk on the radio about this recently. Now, some people, a car's a car.
Yeah.
You know, you get a door ding, but you know, to other people, it's a precious thing, and you love it,
mate.
you value it, and yes, you could spend a lot less on a car, and it'll still get you from A to B.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't need to buy a Cooper. I could have bought an MG4 and still gone electric, right? No dramas. But you know, for me, that was something special. There's a link to my past with my first car. All those things. I like the fact if you're going to spend a lot of time in a car.
Exactly.
I want to have almost an emotional connection to it.
I agree. I think if you only live once, I say. If you want to do it, you do it right.
Second biggest purchase you make.
If you're into it, I think that it's something you're going to be inside in every day. You're driving it every day. You want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And as you said, a lot of people, a car's a car. You know, you're either a car person or you're not. And
because it's funny, whenever there's two, obviously, if Amanda's home, two cars are in the driveway, and it's like, can you go to the shop? So we got to do this thing.
Yeah.
I'll always take the Kia.
Right.
Because I don't get to drive it much.
Okay.
And so I want to experience that. And I still, and it's been, I don't know how long it's been, nearly a year, whatever. I still love that car. I still love that feeling. And I think that's a valuable thing if you're getting in a car. You know, what you want from Peter is, and here's, let's be real about BYD, right? Yeah. There's really nothing negative out there about them at the moment.
No.
They went through a phase when the 803 was released that it was all this negativity around their servicing schedules and their warranty, all these different things that essentially as a new business in Australia, they stuffed up, right?
Yep.
Just the communication around it. But basically, once they've got pedal to the metal, cars on the road,
the system going,
they've really nailed that. And people like Peter get in their cars and go, this is beautiful. Yeah. The same thing you said.
Yeah.
And that's huge credit.
But they've also done a really good job in sort of having really good sensors where you can go see the lineup of the cars. You can actually see, feel, touch them, drive them. You're not just looking online.
You know,
Tesla does that too, I guess.
It's an example of how their business model changed and is testament to their success. Remember, when they first came out, they were going to have like a couple of showrooms in metro areas, and then they were going to be distributed. The cars were going to be delivered on the back of a truck or at My Car, like the service centers, right?
Okay.
And then they did this big deal with Eagers Automotive, who is a big dealership owner. They own a lot of dealerships, and that's where they got actual dealership placement. And I think it matters.
Oh, I think
so
so
for
too,
your
mate.
X-Pengs and your D-Pals and all these new brands, listen, you've
need-
got to have a network.
But
people have got to trust that there's somewhere they can go.
But also to provide that delivery experience that day. Like we just spoke to Peter. This day,
There should be a bow on the
where
bonnet or something.
They really make a big, like it's a ceremony almost, you know. Like I remember when I got my Tesla, there was a little sign to say my name on it. It was all there. It was in its own little room, And same thing when I picked up my Mercedes. They said, okay, let's go out to the car. It was like, here are the keys and here's the service book. And it was a ceremony.
I loved walking into the Cooper at Artarmon, very small showroom. And there's probably 3 cars on display in the showroom. And then there's like a merchandise area, a kind of lounge area to sit and, some tables where they do sales. But then right there is your car. So when you walk in, it's your car in the showroom and it's got a big bow on it and stuff. And you're like, that's good. Open those doors, buddy. And he's like, do you want to walk through? I went, I really want to drive away, but I want you to show me everything I should know. Yeah. And so I sat patiently.
I indulged him. I said, yeah, mate.
No.
Give me everything. I
resisted my urge to go, mate, I'm good. I've driven it. Let's go. And because it was funny because little things
like. You messaged me halfway through mine. And I said, mate, and I remember I sent you a photo of the key and you go, oh, great. I said, let me call you back.
I remember, because in the Cooper, that it doesn't show your odometer, the total amount of Ks you've driven by default when you're driving along. When you get in the car, it shows you and then it disappears off the dash and it's in the settings.
Right.
And
why is that?
I don't know. Just it's a small screen in front of you, so why waste space with it? Okay. And it's not something you need to know all the time, so why not just put it 2 clicks away? And I think I'd be frustrated by that if he hadn't have shown me, and here's where this is and that is. Yeah. It takes me a while to remember where it is every time, but I know it's there. Yeah, and that's what matters.
That's good.
So good on you, Pete. Well done. Awesome. Enjoy your
Glad
BYD
we could be a part
seal.
of his delivery experience, mate. I feel we were a part of that.
I mean, I would have liked him to walk into the showroom and go, oh, my God, it looks amazing. But
maybe we should have waited for him to cross the road. Okay, Pete, cross the road,
Why did Pete cross the road? To get his BYD seal.
To get his BYD seal, baby.
All right, 2 Blokes Talking Electric Cars. Get in touch, 0477 657 657. Is this the same one? I feel like I played the same one, did I?
Well, one good turn deserves another, I say.
I appreciate you not having a go at me for my Sting selection, to be honest.
That's all good, mate. That's all good. As long as we didn't dance. We didn't dance that time.
Well, the camera was on me, so it's on me to look like an idiot, basically.
All right.
2 Blokes Talking Electric Cars. We love hearing from people. God, so good to hear from Pete, who's just picking up his car.
That's made my day.
Not everyone is picking up a brand new car when we call, but we're always happy to call. And we've got someone else on the line. Chris is on the line. G'day, Chris.
Hey, how you going?
Yeah, really good, mate. Where are you at in your EV journey?
We were in a situation where we needed a 6-seater electric vehicle. So we were looking out there for our options. There weren't too many options about 6 months ago or even a year ago. And looking at the best case scenario, it looked like the Model X was the best vehicle for us at that stage.
And you went and you now own that.
Yes, yeah. We went out and we found one in Canberra, drove down, picked it up, and then
What were your criteria if you ended on X?
Yeah, 6-seater.
6-seater.
So it needed to be full EV and needed to have at least 6 seats.
What's your budget though? Because the EV9 is obviously the other contender there.
Ooh.
Yes, so I actually went to the Kia dealership and had a look at it. It was very nice. We did look at the top spec as well. But in terms of but in terms of just, let's say, size, bang for buck, and the integration as well with everything that I had at home, I wanted to sort of go with the one ecosystem. Okay. So that's why I went with the Model X.
So you obviously, this is a second-hand vehicle.
Yes, that's right.
And so how was that process? Was it easy? Was there a lot of choice for you? Not many choices for you? Tell us about that experience.
Yeah. So when I was looking, there was still they were sitting around the $70,000 to $80,000 mark. Mm-hmm. Then there weren't many choices on the East Coast. I was happy to fly up to Brisbane or even down to Melbourne to pick it up. Yep. But when I found one that had very little kilometers, when I picked it up, it had 45,000 kilometers, and it was a 2017 model.
Wow!
With only 40,000
Ks. 45,000 Ks.
Yeah, next to nothing.
What was it? It a one woman owner, one woman driver, or was it a little old lady?
It was a dude who had his own company, but he only worked like 5 minutes away, so barely drove it. So yeah.
Yeah, well, and you mentioned you're in the ecosystem.
I was just going to say, you got Tesla batteries, I'm assuming, and a bunch of solar.
You're Tesla all the way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So how does that fit in then? Is it all working together nicely now?
Yeah. So just before I picked up the Model X, I had 13.2 kilowatts of solar panels put in, the inverters put in, and a Tesla Powerwall 2 put in as well.
Wow.
And I also had the wall charger installed at the same time, so pretty much jumped in.
Wow. You
boom.
did go in the
Very
deep
deep.
end.
As we like to say on the
I
show,
did.
mate, you spent a bit of money, so you must be doing very well.
Oh well, the wife's the breadwinner, so
God
I
love
get to
her.
spend money,
Oh,
so-
God bless her. That's great. So this is your first EV, though, eh? Your first EV?
Yes, the very first EV.
What have you been driving? What did you have before this?
Before this, I've had just a lot of Volkswagen and Skoda vehicles.
Okay.
And they're good for what they are, but when it comes to maintenance costs and when things do go wrong, they add up very quickly.
I want to understand a little bit more about your ecosystem question.
Sure.
Are you a massive fan of Elon Musk?
Him per se, I'm going to say as a personality, not really, but as a person who gets the ball rolling and starts the proverbial ball rolling down the hill. Yes.
So more a fan of the brand, not the person.
Yeah. But
that's correct. Yeah.
So what did you do when you say look at something like the Kia, and it is really the only other car in your 6-seater minimum option? To be honest, there's not. I can't think of. There might be a Mercedes that EQC. Well, no. There's definitely a Mercedes that has a third row, but I probably wouldn't rate it as in terms of a comfortable third row. Whereas, as you know, the Model X is comfortable at every row. Was there something that you thought having a Kia wouldn't do? So is it that you just wanted one app for car and charge? Because in the end,
I just
it's still going to charge off the solar, right?
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I also liked the slick look of the Model X. It was just, it wasn't shaped like a house brick. So yeah.
You know what? Good news, it doesn't look like a Toad. The Model X doesn't look like a Toad.
Nice. Can I ask, mate? Was it the wing doors? Was it the gull wing doors that did it for you?
It is a nice party trick, but it can also be quite annoying, especially when it's a very hot day like the summer, because the sensors don't know if anything's there, so it just opens as if there's a wall right next to when there isn't.
Oh, okay.
But it has its quirks, but yeah, we live around it.
Wait, so on a hot day, it thinks there's a wall there's something there and opens really strategically narrow.
Yeah, right.
Exactly, yeah. So it thinks there's an object even though there's nothing next to the car.
Anything else frustrating you about it?
Sometimes the kids have learned not to press the button when I'm doing something because it'll just shut and try to squash you.
Ooh, okay.
But yeah, they've learned now, so they don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, besides that, it's pretty good. It works well, especially because I've got 3 kids and one's still in a 2-year-old in a baby seat, so putting them in and out of the car is so much easier.
Wow.
Than having a low slung car. I had a 2000 Celica before, and that would just break your back.
Wow. That is, you're definitely getting rid of the back pain there. But then, so is this a long-term car for you with such young kids and thinking about, 6 and 7-seater? Is this a car you think will hold on to for a long time?
Well, funnily enough, this is the wife's car. She's the one that gave the green light and said, I want an electric car and all that. So I got this for her.
Happy wife,
so
happy
it is
life,
gonna be
mate. We know the deal.
Exactly. And it's going to be her long-term car, and my long-term car is going to be a Model S.
Oh, so
you are doubling down on the second hand.
Mate, I sold my Model S a year and a half ago. You could have bought mine.
Yeah, because you're a scum who doesn't want to. You are such a stuck-up scum. You don't want to have an old car. Stephen's like, my car has to be new. I have to have a fancy new car.
My 5-year-old Tesla, when I sold it, only had 49,000 kilometres on it.
Yeah, it would have been a good buy.
It would have been. You would have snapped it up, mate. You would have loved it.
Yeah.
What colour is the Model X? What colour is it?
I've got it's like the gunmetal grey colour.
That was my colour. My Model S, same colour as my car. And did you get the white seats? Was it white seats or no?
No. We actually got the black seats. And one of the reasons was I would love the white seats, but when you have window tinting put in, it actually reflects off it, and it actually has a lot of glare. So I went with the black seats.
Well, I'm going to tell you, mate, from a bloke who drove a Tesla with white seats for 5 years with window tinting, wasn't a problem.
Yep.
Was okay.
Oh, the tinting guy was just saying that sometimes you just get the reflections and it can be a little bit glary. I'm like, okay, good to know.
My tinting bloke was a genius.
Well, then,
no dramas.
Then narrow us down for us. What's the time frame on getting a Model S? Is it something that allows you to be very strategic and slow about your search? Because if you're not desperate, you can find the right one?
No, I've still got the Skoda Octavia as our car that just lives out the front, and hopefully someone will steal it. But we've got, but yeah. So once that goes, then I'll get Model S, and that's just whenever, whenever the right one pops up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mate, I love the fact that you went actually. It doesn't matter that they're not selling them here brand new. They make them still. But so let's be clear, they still make them. They just don't make them in right-hand drive for us, which is just
that's
rubbish.
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and it is still I drove that car from Brisbane to Adelaide. It's a great car, very capable,
the Model X,
great space.
Nice
car.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you've done very well, mate.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Yeah. And you got a happy wife. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, as long as she likes it, mate.
Yeah.
Life's good if she likes it. Yeah, that's
great. Yeah. She's very. It took a little bit convincing, but we ended up also getting the three power walls installed as well, just so that I can be even more in.
Wow.
Grid.
Yeah.
And it's good.
Good work, mate.
Great story.
Well done.
That's great.
Enjoy the car, and we look forward to hearing from you again in the future when you get that Model S, mate.
Yes.
No worries. I'll catch you guys soon.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for getting in touch. What a legend. That's a great story.
Wow.
We haven't spoken to anyone who bought a Model X.
Or, second-hand vehicle.
Yeah.
Second-hander. Yeah.
That's excellent. That's true.
Because I remember experience of selling my car, there were a lot of tyre kickers who just wanted to drive it.
Yeah.
But there was also a few who asked all the right questions about, obviously kilometres, but the battery and all that. They asked all the right questions. And one of those people actually ended up buying the car. So it was someone who knew all about it, did his research. It sounds like same deal right there.
Yeah, Chris did well.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We'd love to hear from you, wherever you're at in your EV journey. Two Blokes Talking Electric Cars. You can text us on 0477 657 657 anytime you like. We'll try and get you on the show next time we're in the studio. Stephen, let's do it again next week.
I will clear the diary,
as we push into yet another month of 2025.
Absolutely. Yeah, wow. It's already end of January. Can you believe
Time flies when you're having fun.
Boom.
All right.
See you later, mate.
See you, mate.